Hello again, and welcome to New Biz Buzz, where at this show we talk about new businesses and help the owner of those businesses spread the buzz about their biz. My name is Leon Thomas. Welcome to New Biz Buzz. Here we go. My name is Leon Thomas. Welcome again to New Biz Buzz, where we talk to owners of new businesses or businesses that are unique and we help them spread the buzz about their biz. If you know of a business or a business owner, or maybe you have a business and you'd like to be on New Biz Buzz, send me an email. Send the email to leonthetrainer@gmail.com. Again, the email address is leonthetrainer@gmail.com. Today, we have a very special guest with us on New Biz Buzz. We'd like to welcome Jim Muscatella. Jim, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Leon. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. It's really good to have you on our show. And one of the things that's so interesting is what you do and why you do it. And so as you and I talked a couple weeks ago, you make custom lightsabers. And I thought that was like one of the coolest things ever that someone does. Tell us, how did you get started in that?
Well, the custom lightsaber has been around for quite a while. And ever since I was like 12, I've wanted one. It started back in 2005 with Master Replicas, and then the community kind of grew, and a couple of businesses sprouted from that. When I got older, in about 2016, I actually said, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger and buy one. I bought one from one business for $75 and got one with sound. The first chance I got to light it up when I got home, I did. And I said, that's awesome. And I was hooked immediately. So then I started buying more and more. I think I bought like 5 or 6 from that specific company. And then I said, I think I can do better than this. So I bought an empty version of one of their sabers and basically started devouring everything I could on YouTube, on Facebook, on all these different sites on how to put electronics into it. So I put my first set of electronics into it, and it was cool. And then I figured out how to put sound into it. So I did that, and I said, okay, this is getting better.
Let me stop for just one second. At this point, you didn't have a background in engineering or machine or anything. You
No,
were
I did
learning
not.
how to do it, right?
I did not. I was learning as I was doing all of these. So when I was doing everything, one of my biggest supporters now discovered me at a local convention. His name is RW Martin. He asked me to machine him one. So I did. I machined him a saber. It was very simple. I followed what he wanted. He wanted a biker style grip and everything like that. And he wanted specific sounds on it. So I went through and I found specific sounds to put onto it. And we got everything said and done. And then he messaged me about a week later saying that the saber, the wiring for it wasn't 100% working. So at that point, I was working about an hour from home. And I said, okay, well, it's Friday night. I have nothing to do tomorrow, so I can sleep as late as I need to. Let me drive the 2 hours to your house to fix it, and then I'll just drive the 3 hours home and get home at like midnight, 1 a.m., and fall asleep the next day.
You drove. Wow.
I drove round trip 6 hours to fix a customer saber.
That is
And
so
that
cool.
and he had a convention to go to the next day, which is why I did that.
what I'm hearing from you is this was a hobby that started and
Yep.
you expanded it and you had some people that supported you, some people that you clearly went above and beyond in terms of service with. I mean, you drove and fixed it at the guy's house, right?
Oh
And
yes.
now I gotta think now though, even as your folks are ordering from you on starforgesabers.com, that's your website, it's right at the bottom of the
Correct.
screen there, right? Starforgesabers.com, that because of your early experience and the way that you took care of those early customers, I gotta believe that you're still doing that now, obviously with all the customizations and all, but if a customer has a problem, customer has a question, something's not quite right, I just get the feeling that you're the type of guy that says, I'm going to do what I have to do to get it right. And you're dedicated towards it and working long hours or whatever you have to do. Am I right about that?
You are absolutely correct. When I made this shift with into the machine, the vending group that I'm in now, for selling sabers, because I still do custom work, but I also vend for another company called LGT Saber, which is one of the largest lightsaber vending companies in the world. One of the biggest things for me is they offer a 1 year warranty on all of their parts. That's great. It's not quite what I offered when I was doing custom work. So there's a secondary warranty that I offer from my shop. If something anytime does not work, like let's say your battery goes and you need another battery or something, if you get in touch with someone were to get in touch with me, and there are two ways to do it, the shop has an email address or the Facebook page, I will make sure that you get a new battery within the week. Everything in my shop, it ships 24 hours after I get the order, regardless of whether or not it means a late night for me packaging shipments. Everything ships within 24 hours.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter how many orders I get. If I get 20 orders or if I get 2 orders, those orders are shipped within 24.
This, Jim. Who's the, what demographic purchases from you the most?
That's a tricky question. There are the thing with lightsabers is they're universally admired by everyone. The guy R.W. Martin who bought one of my first sabers and who had me make it custom, he's well into his late 40s. I've had people into their 60s buy. I've had people as young as 22, 23, 24, even younger than that. They've bought. It really does depend on the person you're talking to. The demographic is really anybody.
Hmm.
Anybody who's ever seen in that one of the movies or one of the cartoons or one of the TV shows and said, I really like that. Or even people who've never seen it. Sets of parts and put them together. For the custom stuff, everything is customized to the person's personal taste. I do the entirety of my customization as far as the personal taste of the client goes. So
Hmm.
if they say, I want something with a really unique grip style, or I want the grips to have some real texture to it, I'll go through and I'll knurl the grips. If they say, that doesn't really sound like what I want, where it's a diamond pattern and it grips your skin really hard, and in some cases it can cut in, I'll smooth it out and I'll try something different. It really does depend on the person and the
Many
demographic.
folks want to start a business. Many folks are passionate about something as you are. Folks have a desire to do, and for whatever reason they don't. Take a couple minutes and tell us, maybe 2 minutes, what were some of the challenges? Like some more of the challenges that you faced that you just had to fight yourself. You had to fight through to make it work because you really wanted this to happen.
Okay, well, one of the challenges was education. A lot of people that I've met in my life, there are people who don't see themselves learning anything after college. And my background in really everything, I had to learn constantly throughout my 2 careers, technically 3 careers. So learning things wasn't the issue. The real issue for me, and this has always been a real issue, is I can't draw, I can't do art. I've never been able to draw. And for these types of things, you have a lot of artistic input for it. There are some really talented artists who design sabers in my community, as far as the online community for lightsaber designing and everything. I am not one of them. I have never been able to draw. So when I step up to my lathe to do a custom piece, I have no real idea of what I'm doing until I'm done. And I always kind of remember what one of my family friends used to say, because he used to be able to do ice sculpture. And someone said to him once, "How do you design it? How do you do the sculpturing?" And he said, "Well, I just cut away everything that doesn't look like a swan or a vase." And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's the way I need to do this.
Yeah.
I need to have an idea in my head, and I need to take everything off of it that doesn't fit into that idea.
All right. Folks, my name is Leon Thomas. You're watching New Biz Buzz, where we talk to new business owners and business owners of companies that are unique, and we give them an opportunity and help them spread the buzz about their biz. If you would like to be on New Biz Buzz, or you know someone that should be on New Biz Buzz, send me an email. Send me an email. Again, my name is Leon Thomas. Send the email to leonthetrainer@gmail.com. And if you want to see past episodes of New Biz Buzz and learn more about what we do at Leon Thomas and Associates, go to leonthetrainer.net. That's our website, leonthetrainer.net. Okay, Jim, in about the 10 minutes or so that we have remaining, you brought some demos with you, some samples of your work. So
Mhm.
let's see those. Show us what you
Okay.
brought with us today. Everyone wants to see and see some of this in action. I'm excited too. Go
One of
ahead.
my favorite models. This is called the Musashi. It is named after an ancient warrior in Japan. It is what's known as an in-hill LED model. So all of our sabers sold on the site all come with sound. So the in-hill model, and both of these are set on orange because that's the one color when I'm doing my live streams for my business that doesn't affect the screens as much. Oh yeah, and there's music in the background.
Wow.
So this is the standard in-hill Rgb Saber. Now RGB in lightsaber terms means that it's color changing. So if you don't like orange, you can activate the color changing. And let's say I want to stop it at blue. Now I've got a nice blue saber. Flash on clash. Lock up. So that's the first one. That's the in-hill. This is by far one of the least expensive options that we offer.
Now someone can buy this on your website at starforgesabers.com, right?
That's correct. Now
Starforgesabers.com. All right, go ahead.
this is an option. We don't have any of these in stock as of right now. I got 4 or 5 of them in stock, and within 24 minutes of getting them in stock, they all sold out. I have one left, and 4 of them are being hand delivered by me. So if you're within a 50 to 100-mile radius of where I live, which is in Lake Placid, New York, I will bring these to you and teach you all the features on them myself. That way you have a firsthand knowledge of what they do, and you have a firsthand instruction on how to operate them.
Okay,
Now,
hold it. Stop. Don't go any further. Let me make sure I understand what you just said. If someone lives within a 50-mile radius of you, you will hand deliver it and show them how to use the product.
correct.
That is just service That's service, folks. That's service. Go ahead, Jim. You are the man. Go ahead.
All right, so this one's called a Neopixel Blade. This is actually a much more advanced piece of machinery, and the reason is because all of the LEDs, none of them are in here. They're all up the blade, and you'll notice what happens when the blade turns on. It looks a lot cooler than the fade-in of the other one.
Oh, yeah.
The flashes are all inside the blade, so if you're using the blaster deflection, a specific point on the blade will light up. The tip, if you are doing the stab, the tip will act like it's hitting something and burning through it. And this one also comes with color change, but it's a little different than the other one. So the color change on this one is revved like a motorcycle engine. And as you can see, the LEDs on this are much brighter. So this is what's known as the Neopixel Blade. The blade has all of these features programmed into the soundboard. And there are multiple different styles. And there are multiple what's known as sound fonts. And smooth swing. And what smooth swing is it is the most advanced sounding version of the options of soundboard of sounds.
Let me
It
ask you,
sounds the
Jim,
closest.
how long does it take you in man hours to make a lightsaber?
Custom built sabers can be as simple or as complicated as someone really wants them to be. So a custom built saber by me can be as long as a few months. But typically I try to machine out my custom designs in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I
Okay.
typically try to machine everything in 2 weeks. And I do this by keeping the handles very simple, keeping the pommels really simple, and then focusing most of the character on how everything puts together.
Wow.
Good.
This
Good.
is, and one other thing, our last conversation piece, you mentioned that I talked about you must be bringing smiles to a lot of faces, and you said that's why I do it. And so often folks get into business, they start a business, and of course, when you say business, there's going to be some money exchange and all that, and I get it. But so often we lose the focus of the why, the why we do, what gets us that big feeling of fulfillment in what we do. And yes, it's nice to make money, and many folks that do things like this don't make a lot of money off of it. They do it because they really like it. They like the hobby that they're doing, but it's more about that smile on the face, the email that they receive or whatever it is that says you brought life to my husband, my daughter, my child, or whatever. Do you have one customer that really stands out? Is that for you being that boom, that home run that then that wow, what you
Yeah.
do brought a huge impact? Tell us quickly about that.
So I have one customer who bought two sabers. Non they were sabers that were made by the LGT company. And he bought them because they were on special at the time, and we sent them out to him. He loves them. And I guess it brought a lot of life to his house for a couple of days because he put them with these sabers you could combine two and have a staff. Well, he combined two and apparently broke a very expensive overhead chandelier. And okay, so he fulfilled his dream of having lightsabers, but at the same time, he did not fulfill his wife's dream of having to replace something like a $500 chandelier in the course of a weekend.
Yeah.
So he contacted me and said, "Thank you so much. The sabers are great, my wife is really mad. Um, and I said, okay, what happened? And he said, I ended up breaking a $500 chandelier and now I'm grounded. I said, how old are you? And he said, I'm 39. I said, okay, well, fair enough. I can't do anything to help you there.
Right.
But he said it was always a dream that he would find sabers that really spoke to him. And at the time, he bought what's known as a mystery box, which is two random sabers that I just pull out of nowhere, out of the ether for my stuff, and send to him. Well, he fell in love with them and he decided he wanted more. So he's contacted me a couple times to ask me when the next mystery box sale is going to happen or when I'm going to have sabers to offer that at a sale price. And we're actually moving close into that. About midway through April, we'll have our May the 4th sale, which a lot of lightsaber enthusiasts and actually a lot of Star Wars enthusiasts know May the 4th is Star Wars Day. But the reason it's Star Wars Day is because back in the original trilogies, that was the day that most of the movies got released.
Mm,
So
okay.
May the 4th was definitely a big thing for me. When I was growing up, I always wore Star Wars everything. I had a Star Wars necktie because I went to a private school. I couldn't wear a Star Wars t-shirt, but I always had a Star Wars necktie and Star Wars socks that I wore when I went to school. And I mean, I watched all the original movies, and then I would go see the prequel trilogy when they started coming out. The year after that I graduated high school was the last year for the prequel trilogy. I did my last final the day the new prequel trilogy last movie came out. I was at the midnight showing that night, the day after my last final.
Wow.
So, like you said, it's not all about money. For us, it's really not. Especially for me, it's really not about money because if I wanted to, I could sell these things for a lot more than what I do. The reason I keep my prices low is because this isn't just me selling something for the exclusively rich. This is something everybody should be able to get.
Hmm.
And that's kind of my thing. Like when I was younger, I couldn't afford these things. They were really expensive and they were, only like the richest kids in the area could ever afford this stuff. And that kind of stuck with me. And I said, you know what? That's not really right. It's not
Yeah.
right to have this kind of dream fulfillment only be for people who have this exorbitant amount of money.
Hmm.
So I found ways to provide this kind of dream stuff for the best budget I could. Um, a good chunk of our sabers are less than $100, and most of them actually are less than 150. All of them are, other than the Neopixels, are less than 150.
So
You can
many
buy.
things for the right reason. We applaud you, and we're really glad to you were able to be a guest on the show tonight, folks. To buy a saber, you go to starforgesabers.com. Jim Muscatello is providing the best service of any business I've ever heard of. He's doing something that's for the right reasons at the right prices that make it affordable for everyone. Jim, we're so glad you were able to be on the show today. Thanks again. We'll check in with you maybe in 6 months or so to see how things are going. Thanks for being a guest on New Biz Buzz. Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Folks, if you'd like to be a guest on New Biz Buzz, or you know someone that should be, it's real simple. Send me an email. Send the email to leonthetrainer@gmail.com. And to see past episodes of New Biz Buzz, go to leonthettrainer.net. You've just watched New Biz Buzz. Here we go.